please tell me what are the major key takeaways from today's panel?
What's really interesting for us to be able to watch is India in action. The whole world is evolving at such a rapid pace, but India is really at the forefront of this change, trying to balance certainty within the arbitration process, keeping up with the geopolitics of it all, but also navigating its unique brand of procedural identity.
Right. Tell me, how will the rise of AI impact international arbitration in the future?
My goodness, we're working on so many things right now that are artificial intelligence related. The AAA ICDR has launched at least 7 different AI-facing products. Everything from clause drafting to arbitrator development to site checking to document summarization, chatbots. But the single most interesting thing we've done is a launch that happened yesterday, which is our digital arbitrator project. So this is trained on 1,500 US domestic construction arbitration awards. The essence of it is essentially predictive analysis in arbitration. It's only being rolled out to trained arbitrators because we're all worried about algorithmic bias and all of the associated issues. But this is going to truly revolutionize arbitration, particularly in documents-only cases that don't have evidential hearings, which is par for course in sort of smaller construction-type disputes.
Okay. As the VP of AAA, what are the major challenges you face in promoting API globally?
There's still this tension globally between ad hoc arbitration and institutional arbitration.
Debates.
Exactly. And that's, I think, par for course in most parts of the world, except certain jurisdictions that have mandated institutional arbitration, right? There's also a sort of challenge between court systems and arbitration and how these two interact with one another. But something that I think I'm seeing a little bit more visibly in my role as Vice President is really that interaction between the common law world and the civil law world, and how we bridge our various legal cultures and traditions to create a system of arbitration that isn't quite transnational, that doesn't quite make both parties absolutely thrilled, but yet allows both sides of the conversation to feel like they've had a fair dispute resolution process. That's what matters. To us as an institution, it's always about putting the parties in the driver's seat to create a dispute resolution process that is collaborative, but also that allows them to design it for themselves. That's where I think institutional arbitration has failed, in that institutions try to control too many aspects of the dispute resolution process. What we're trying to do is give control back to the parties, where they're firmly in the driver's seat, where they decide who is the arbitrator, what are the qualifications of the arbitrator, what sector expertise does the arbitrator have, what does the specific procedure in that case look like? Do they want alternative forms of dispute resolution? Do they want to integrate mediation? These are all of the questions that we at the AAA ICDR are asking, and it's what we're trying to empower parties to be able to take full advantage of the DAW process.
Oh, lovely. That's a great initiative, I must say. Tell me something from your experience. What are the common pitfalls parties encounter while drafting arbitration laws?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, please maybe just have the one dispute resolution clause. Diraj and I were looking at a contract yesterday that had 2. And they were both in conflict with one another.
Right.
One had a sole tribunal in Delhi, the other had a 3-member tribunal in Bombay. So please, counsel, use my clause drafter AI and come up with an enforceable arbitration clause. Name a clear seat of arbitration. Pick a seat of arbitration that is friendly to arbitration. Don't pick it where the court systems are generally interfering into the arbitration process. Figure out what kind of arbitrators you want. Is that something that you want flexibility on when a dispute arises? Or is that something that you want to bake into your contract? Third, and I can't stress this enough, as institutional rules evolve, we're seeing arbitration take a different form under different institutions. Some of this is looking more like litigation. Some of this is still staying true to arbitration. Be careful what you're signing up to.
Right.
What is the process that you want to govern your arbitration process? And don't just pick the popular ones. Actually apply your mind to what's going on out there. Last but certainly not least, think about how much control you want in the process. I can't quite stress this enough. As a partner in a law firm, I never understood the complexity that comes with choosing a dispute resolution case. But now, looking at an overall institutional overview, I'm better able to appreciate what individual institutions have to offer to the parties. And how much control do you want over that process?
Right. Thank you so much, Thara. And my last question, if you have to define Delhi Arbitration Weekend in one word, what would that be?
Groundbreaking.
Wow, lovely. The committee will be very happy.
Well, hopefully I get invited again next year.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bhumika. Such a pleasure to be here.